Hey everyone, Gridlock Cosplay here. In preparation for the next couple of events, I am doing some upgrades on the Mechwarrior. Here's what's on the list for repair. First, the minigun's power supply is fading. It is just using standard 9-volt batteries, so I'm going to get something better in there. The front of this panel, on both sides actually, after taking a few steps, it would always pop open and leave this nasty space there. So I'm going to reinforce that. Inside, you can't quite see it there, oh there we go, is the padding for my shoulders is not very thick. I mean, I'm using 6 inches of it, but I'm going to need some more padding on there. And the last thing is that I never finished painting the legs. I mean, this is unpainted EVA foam, so I'm going to do some touch-ups on the legs. It just so happens that my next event is in 2 days, so I don't have very much time to get all of this done. I went to Battery World today and picked up this 12-volt, 2.3 amp-hour lead-acid battery, which is going to be a great replacement for the 9 volts. I will have to do some power adjustment, of course, but it should have a lot more cranking power for the minigun. And many thanks to Brandon at the West End location for giving me a discount. Okay, I've taken out my old battery pack there, replaced it with the 12 volt, and I did do some tests on the motors because I have other ones that are the same ones that are in the minigun here, and they do run on 12 volts. So I wired it directly to the board here. We'll come over, got the weapon selected, and there we go. It's not quite as fast as I had hoped, but there is a lot of internal resistance inside here. It's not too efficiently made, but that's definitely better than it was before. I cut the plug off of the old batteries and I'm soldering the new wires onto it. Of course, I still need to mount the battery somewhere, and this is the best place right there. There's a bit of a lip to hold it. I'll put some padding there and then an elastic band of some sort to be able to hold it in while still allowing me to remove it to charge. And now it's all put back together. And it works. I mean, these wires, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? My original design with the backpack didn't require any padding here, but as my shoulders kept on touching it, I decided to put it on there. And this was a last-minute thing right before the first Comic-Con that I went to, and it's just not very much. I just zip-tied it on there, so I'm going to redesign that so I have some better shaped shoulder padding. So I'm pretty much going to use the same technique as before, but I'm cutting a bigger piece of foam and then I'm going to use duct tape to keep it on instead of zip ties. Here is a side piece with this being the front, and this is the part that kept on sliding out because it wasn't being pulled in well enough by this rubber band. I think my method here was sound, just the execution was bad. So instead of this flimsy rubber band, I'm going to put on a proper piece of elastic with some Velcro. As for the legs, it's very fortunate that I designed them to go together like buttons and buttonholes, and so I've got them all separated here. It'll be a lot easier to fix the battle damage that has occurred, and so I'm going to just get some glue on those, and then I'm going to be able to paint each piece individually. It's going to make it a lot easier. So I just got to tape those up, and then I can get painting. I got a lot of damage on the knee from a piece of plastic that was on the frame, and I was going to put some quick seal on this and fill it in, but I decided it'd be quicker to take a bit of shelf liner and just glue it over top of that to make a nice clean finish again. And I've put the contact cement on all the rest. I just have to stick the little damaged pieces together, and yeah, then after this I should be able to paint. Looking under the body, this is the culprit right here. It's a sharp edge, possibly this too, but when I crouch down, my knee hits this area. So I am simply going to cover it with some duct tape to take that sharp edge off. Now the damage is covered up, and this is much stronger than the EVA foam alone. Another thing that I remembered when I was looking at this is that when I get my shoe in here, it's right at the toe, and it really doesn't hold on very well, and this ends up slipping off, and then the foot slips up. So I'm going to move this strap further back, so probably to right here, so it holds onto the shoe better. So as simple as that, I just heat gunned the hot glue off and moved it over to here. Since I'm using spray paint on the legs, as I did on the body, I'm going to have to put a primer on this shelf liner, because if you spray paint it, it stays sticky for weeks. Just putting some Mod Podge on here. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I just gave the hinges on the canopy some paint, because they were black before, just the Plastidip. Never had a chance to paint them, so now they are silver. I've stripped it down and I've taken another look, and of course I haven't painted these either. I think I'm going to do them in black. This is a little pouch that I made for my phone, but since I last wore this to Comic-Con, I got a new phone, so it's bigger. I need to make a new case. I have some of just plastic from a toy, just the box of a toy. It took a couple of goes with the heat gun to get this to wrap around, but it's fairly stiff. My phone fits in there, and so I'm just going to, wrap the sides and put a backing on it and hang it. There it is, the pouch for my phone while I'm in the Mechwarrior. Pretty much done. Just now one final touch. And that's it for the refurbishment of the Mechwarrior for the costume competition tomorrow. Wish us luck. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.